for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer I will indicate bidders upon request. The law prohibits false bids and prohibits major disruptions by bidders and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding and provides fines for this conduct. The rules permit a vendor bid, and of course the words I will use throughout the course of the auction to indicate I'm making a bid on the behalf of the vendor are exactly that, vendor bid. And by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a bid on the behalf of the vendor. I beg your pardon. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been to my auctions before, I travel around Melbourne, I do them for different people, you'll know straight off, and I say this every auction, I don't like using vendor bid. We're here to listen to what you have to say today. You've listened to what Alice has had to tell you for the last 4 weeks. Several groups in the audience here or in the crowd have seen it multiple times. You've come here with a reason, purpose or design, and that is to buy property here today. The contract of sale including the vendor statement or the section 32 reads the following: that your agent, your only agent today, Harcourt's Unity, are selling the land together with any improvements known as 2 Flower Street here in Ferntree Gully. The chattels are to include all fixed floor coverings, light fittings and window furnishings, and we are calling for a 10% deposit today, ladies and gentlemen. The vendors would prefer a 30-day settlement. We'll extend that to 45 or 60 days for you if that's really what you'd like to do. Essentially, if you need anything more or different than that, now is the time to put your hand in the air, but we're concentrating on more of a 30-day arrangement. The good news for that is, once you move in, clear out the swimming pool, get the local pool guy in to make it pristine, and the first Christmas is at your place this year. You've got enough time to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, the contract of sale with the vendor statement or the section 32 as prepared by the vendor solicitor is included within the contract of sale. It's all very straightforward, all very standard, ladies and gentlemen. There are no hiccups there whatsoever, and it's been sent out to most of you in the crowd here. Well, there you go, there's formalities. Let's get down to the fun stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And really, I walked through here today and I sort of thought, oh, it's my first one today. I've got 4 or 5 today. And my eyes just opened and opened and opened and opened and opened. It's quite an amazing journey through the house. Whether or not we started as a single story and the back was added, you can see that there's some remnants of a back right of way there, that the shed is available. But really, as you go through the house, over and over and over again, it opens up into a new area, a new design. A couple of comments from the crowd. It's too big for us. It's not big enough for us. It needs a little bit of work doing to it. It's all these things, but as someone who's very wise once said to me, you know what the principle is about property? That it might need all these things doing to it, but you can't do anything unless you own it. Ladies and gentlemen, with 4 bedrooms, a parent's retreat downstairs, the 2 bedrooms upstairs, the in-ground pool. Now, if that's a hedge for you, in-ground pool, they'll come and remove this little bit of boarding here and fill it in about 25 minutes. That's not an issue. We've got parks around the corner. We've got schools around the corner. We've got a train station within about 2 minutes walk. We've got the Dandenongs. We're at the foothill of the Dandenongs. So you're really between the hill, the mountains and the sea. It took me 20 minutes to get here from Bentley tonight. It's essentially your landmark for the water's edge in Victoria. So whether you want to go down the beach or whether you want to go up to Olinda for a nice coffee and a Sunday brunch, you really got it all at your doorstep. Park down the road here. Cricket nets. I think it had a golf swinging net there. It's really got everything. Walking through, we've got storage out the back. We've got a little bar where dads quite often like to have their little man cave. It's not big, but it's big enough for a bar fridge, somewhere to sit at night, gather your thoughts and do whatever men do with, in their own space. But again, ladies and gentlemen, the thing is you can't do anything to it until you own it. I want to talk really, really briefly, but most importantly about the market. If you haven't been into the market for years and years and years, great, welcome. But listen carefully. If it's your first opportunity to buy, again, listen carefully. I've been in this game for 25 years. I'm not a real estate agent, although qualified to be, licensed. Let me assure you, you've got 2 more weeks of this year for new property to appear to be able to buy. Then what happens is all the agents will hold it back until the next year. Once December comes, the first week in December, they're looking at getting rid of all the old stock before starting again the weekend after Australia Day, which is about the first weekend in February. Interest rates are down here. Interest is up here. Clearance, I think last week was 82%. The opportunity to buy is here and now, because next year, traditionally when every New Year market kicks off I should say, it is always inflated because there's no benchmark for about 2 months. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. 2 Flower Street in Ferntree Gully. 724 square metres, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, swimming pool, in-ground, storage, basketball court around the corner, double carport here. You can enclose that to be a garage. You can put your caravan out the back. What more do you want? The only problem you'll have here is saying no to family coming around and using all the facilities. Who'd like to start me off for 2 Flower Street here in Ferntree Gully? Anywhere you like. Kick me off. I'm here to listen to what you have to say. Alice has told me that we've had interest, had little nibbles before the auction, but now it's game day. If you've come to buy the property, now's not a bad time to put your hand in the air. Don't be shy. I won't laugh at you. You won't get into trouble. We're here to help you buy a property. Sometimes the hardest part is having someone who wants to sell and someone who wants to buy and putting that together. Once you do, the rest is easy. Anyway you like. I'll start us off at 700. How's that? Nice gentle start. I've been told by Alice you couldn't replace the land at 724 square metres in this position for that sort of money. So really from here on through, the house is generally you're getting the house for nothing. At 700,000, vendor bid with me. You can match it anywhere you like. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to raise it by 10, by 20,000 if you want to. It'll be a short auction, ladies and gentlemen. I don't drag these things out. We are here today to listen to what you have to say about the property, where you think market value is. But ladies and gentlemen, the opportunity is now, and it is now time to seize the opportunity. Anywhere you like, at 700,000 now. First call then at 7. Second call then at 7. Third final call now at $700,000. So I'm from Bentley, about 20 minutes down the freeway, as I mentioned, right? Down Ferntree Gully Road, Oakley. This house down there these days would be somewhere around 1.2, 1.4, maybe even 1.5 million. I've got a unit in my street going today that they're asking more than this, and it's in one of those 1950s 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom villa units. You're in good company. You can bid confidently knowing you're spending your money now. Vendors want it sold. First thing I ask, what are my instructions? Well, the vendors really want this sold. So take solace in the fact this isn't an exercise to see if they can win Cats Lotto. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll call it down for you 3 times and then we're done. At 700,000, I invite you in at my bid or up it if you like. Second call then, at 700,000 now. Third call now, at $700,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you a chance to think about it. Phone a friend and I'll be with you in a moment.
So why are you calling? Yeah, but I'm not concerned about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, patience and understanding. The decision's easy. The decision on this side of the fence is very easy. It's just up for one of you to step forward and say, this is the space that I want to be in. Because why wouldn't you be? At 700,000, traditionally what would happen is the auctioneer will come out here and talk a little bit, and then they'll say something smart or funny, and then they'll raise the price again, and you'll all go home and blah, blah, blah. So that's not going to happen. The vendor bid today is 700 and it's parked right there. I'm not taking any more on the behalf of the vendor. Vendors are standing right there and they want to sell the property. So again, it's not an exercise. We don't want to see how this goes. The vendors don't want to drop $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 on advertising just to say, oh, well, we'll try in 10 years' time. They want it sold. So this is your opportunity. Let me explain very carefully. If I pass the property in, you want to be the one with your hand in the air, because that indicates that you're not buying the property. That indicates that you're the person to come in and sit at the table and have first right of refusal, and that's all auction talk. It means you get first chance to buy it. Let's not overcomplicate it. First chance to buy the property here today. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, swimming pool, in ground. 3 living areas. Parents' retreat downstairs, sunken in the back. Dad's bar, storage area beyond that, basketball court over the other side, flagpole in the front yard. But it's up to you now. You've got a young chap inside. If you want that seat at the table, you need to let me know by putting up your hand. Your bid then will be 700,000. I won't raise it. I can't make it any more clearer. Or any clearer, I should say. I can't make it any simpler for you. But ladies and gentlemen, rest assured, I'm going to count to 3 and then it's done. And then we're free to talk to everybody. So where we're at, sir, at the moment is that my bid is 700,000 and you would be bidding at 700,000 to go in. You say no, sir, but let me tell you what, it'll be your fault on the way home if you don't come in. Might be just my wife that does that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it down for you 3 times and then we're done. At 700,000 now, decision is final. At 700,000 to come inside, have a chat to Harvey, have a chat to Alice, put your best case forward for the vendors and see how the dice roll for you. But I can guarantee you that the motivation that's out the back, there's going to be a sold sticker on the front. You'll see your face on Facebook with the sold sticker out the front with Harvey, everyone's smiling and arranging who's bringing what for Christmas lunch. At 700,000 now. First call then at 700. Second call then at 700. Third, final call now at $700,000. It seems quite plain, ladies and gentlemen, that we're dealing. Would you like to come inside and have a chat, sir? There's no commitment if you want to do that. Alice, I'll pass it in and we can do it. How are we at, Harvey? Well, ladies and gentlemen, on the behalf of the vendors, I'll formally pass the property in at 700,000. Sir, if you want to go away for 5 minutes, grab a cold drink at the milk bar here, come back and have a chat. Anyone else in the audience, if you're interested, please let Harvey or Alice or any of the staff from Harcourt's Unity here know. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.